Hello friend, this is Ryan Hicks of TalkToProfit.com, and today I want to talk to you about what you focus on is what you attract. Now I want to direct this because there's a gentleman who was giving a speech about the law of attraction and how people have it all wrong because they tell you to avoid negative thinking and negative things, avoid the news. And he had this weird interpretation that's completely wrong, but I get where he was going. I think what he was trying to do was trying to justify his partaking of these things that he knows really aren't good for him. But he was talking about in the news, in regard to the news. Well, if you purposely don't watch the news, you're not focusing on not watching the news, you're focusing on being ignorant. But here's the thing. People who watch the news are some of the most ignorant people on the planet because they're being programmed. So that idea in the first place that somehow you're being informed with truthful, factual information because you're watching the news is completely absurd in the first place. But even if it was, you're being informed in things that are negative, things that drag you down, things that depress, things that hinder your success. They don't make you better. And if you want to test this out, if you really want to be a victim and self-sabotage, go try for a month. Watch the news for hours a day, each and every day for an entire month. Then, the next month, don't watch a single second of it. Don't read any of it anywhere, anything like that. Don't go on social media and read it. Just completely abstain. And tell me which month was the best for you. Just doing that alone will make a big, huge, massive difference. Now, if you were to, and I can't imagine anyone doing this, if they even have the consciousness to know to avoid watching the news in the first place, they have the consciousness to know to focus on something good. But if you were to say, I'm not going to watch the news, and then your focus is only on, I'm not going to watch the news, you just keep thinking, I'm not going to watch that. I'm not going to watch that news. Maybe you would attract something negative because you are focused on not good, but avoiding something that's evil. If you are going to be a person of wisdom and character and avoid watching the news and all this nonsense and reading it, of course, then you don't replace that with just thinking about, I'm not going to watch it. You think about something good, something lovely, something that's pure, something that's true, that's just, that's worthy of your focus. That's what you focus on. So if some weird scenario where there's people out there who stop watching the news because they know how detrimental it is to them, and then that's all they focus on is that they're stopping watching the news, then those people may have deleterious effects from it. But it's only because they haven't redirected the focus to something good. That's the whole purpose of this. If you're watching the news, you're not focused on something good. There's very little good in anything in the news. And if there is anything good, they have to weigh it down with more negativity. So if there's a good story about some good ending, they drag you through the mire of all the negativity that led up to that good story. And they'll even somehow kind of stick a dig in there about how this could happen to you, you know. That's not stuff you want to focus on. But you don't avoid that and then just focus on the fact you're avoiding it. You don't give it a second thought. You go, oh, I'm not going to watch that. And you focus on something good. You get in that gratitude space, that appreciation space, that thanksgiving space. And then you give thanks and gratitude to God for all the goodness in your life. And you focus on that. You have to be careful in life when you're listening to people trying to teach you and stuff. When they start to go off into these things, trying to get you to do something that you know is against your own conscience. Well, you know, watching the news isn't that bad for you. Why? Why would somebody tell you that? Well, probably because they're trying to justify their own wrong actions in this regard. They know in their heart it's wrong, and they're trying to soothe their own conscience by making excuses about how I'm being informed. No, you're not. Listen, go talk to the average person that watches the news every day. They know nothing about anything. They may know about some politics. They know what the news media has been telling them. They know what they've been indoctrinated with, but do they actually have any real knowledge? Not very often. It's very, very rare. And if they do, it's despite the news, not because of it. Listen, you want to learn, you want to be informed? There are books all over the place. I've written dozens of books over the years. You can be informed and be edified in your faith, not have to be dragged down, not have to make your life worse. Because listen, when you focus on those negative things, you give them a place in your life, you attract more of that. Jesus said, take no thought, meaning be not anxious about tomorrow. Don't give thought to all these things. Don't allow yourself to be worried and bogged down and focused on this negativity of life. Focus on the good, and then you'll have more good in your life. You could always go point and drag out in some four corners of the world a negative experience. This person had a bad thing. This problem over here. That thing. You could always find something. Why not find the good? Because you could also always find good. There's a good story somewhere in your neighborhood. There's a good story in your own life. Why not focus on those good things and be appreciative and grateful and thankful to God for them? I know this can be hard if you're coming from a different perspective, because a lot of professing Christians in the professing Christian churches will tell you, oh, we gotta be real. And they'll talk up this stuff. They'll talk about how they had to be politically active, and they talk about the news, and they love reveling in evil, negativity, and drama. But you, my friend, if you're an adult, presuming you're an adult, these videos are made for adults, although you can be younger and watch them and get benefit from them too, you have to take responsibility for your own life. You can't go, well, my pastor said this, or this person said this. You have to be responsible for what you choose to think about. If you choose to allow that kind of stuff into your heart, that negativity and drama and discord, then you have taken responsibility for your life, and you have chosen to have a life of more of those things. That's your choice. Yes, you don't consciously say, I'm choosing to have a negative life. But your actions choose that for you. Your actions show that you do choose that, actually. And many people don't even understand what's going on in their own hearts enough to understand that they're sabotaging themselves. That's why they keep going back to these things. They keep going back to the well. They're like the dog going back to his vomit, as the scripture says. That shouldn't be you. You should be one walking in righteousness, focused on the good. When people leave your presence, they feel uplifted. They feel edified. They have that impression of increase. That should be you. And in your own presence, by yourself, you should feel edified. You should be built up. You shouldn't be saying words that drag yourself down. You shouldn't be reading things that drag you down. You shouldn't be watching things that drag you down. And I understand it's going to make you different. It's going to make you a peculiar person. You're going to be very unique from most people, and that's all right. You're also going to be unique in the fact that you're going to be in the top 1% of everything in life. Success, wealth, riches, love, peace, joy, and righteousness. You are going to be excelling above all. Not because you're in any kind of competition with them, but because you're doing the things that other people just simply won't do. And you're living more like Christ, and you're walking in the grace of God. My friend, I pray this is a blessing for you. May God bless you richly.